Hey, Founder. Been feeling a little tight up here. I love the job, but it's kind of a grind. Had a fight with my dad today. He doesn't think I should be heading down to Titan anytime soon. My great-grandparents fled Titan, you know. How much fleeter history have you heard? 90 years ago, a lot of the pilots on Titan went on strike. They made a play for the government, too. But the Council struck back and beat them. So, the pilots took their ships and escaped into orbit. And they became the fleet. We've been living up here for almost 100 years. My grandpa's ship is a school now. We have history here. So, I kind of agree with my dad. Titan is messed up, but I still want to visit someday, you know, temporarily. Maybe we could hang out, take a walk. You could show me some of the mod shops in your city. If things go my way, it won't be long now. Have a good one, Founder.
You know, he's probably the friendliest operator I think I've come across. 1 second. Right, sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, just have to pause and gather my thoughts. Hello there everyone, this is I Mark III. Welcome back to Industries of Titan. Yes, Industries of Titan. I am Mark III, you fool, what are you doing? Surely it's been a while since the last one of these. Why are you dragging this one up? Well, since I'm trying to get back on track this week, I was trying to pull myself back up out of unfortunate mental condition last week, pretty much. Still kind of wavering. This week it's like I'm trying to go for a consistent flow of videos, and that includes like going for like series that have slipped, because that does happen fairly often. I decided I still want to keep going with Industry of Titan. It's just unfortunate that I stopped kind of paying attention to it, mainly because, as I recall, I actually had a recording error last time I did it, and so I had to roll it back to an earlier save. So we're just doing this now, finishing things off, because I did finish this, then I went on to the next map, then there was a save issue, and then I rolled it back again, it's blah, 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 blah. And I got distracted. So now I'm back here. So yeah, Industry of Titan. Yes, Industry of Titan. And honestly, I wasn't. I knew that spaces were a faction in this game. I just wasn't really aware of the details. Like they came here, then there was a pilot rebellion, and they went up into the ships in orbit, and they've been there for over a century now. It's like, I didn't know about that stuff. Makes me kind of sad in a way as well, because if you remember, this game has basically wrapped up development a bit early. And one of the things that was originally planned for it was like different factions to start with, and as far as I know, that's not in the game. So maybe they would have been one. Who knows? But anyway, yeah. The initialization behind the recording glitch is that I knew it would take a while just doing this, like dotting power plants, power relays, dotting control centers. That's all that we need to finish this map, really. But if class a grind, then it's like sometimes I get a bit more reluctant to do it, because there's literally nothing else to do in this map. All I need to do is like play the time and do the thing and get the thing forward. You know what I've gone and done? I've forgotten to start my timer telling me how long I've been recording. Okay, got an estimate. Right. Which I think is an estimate. Who knows? But yeah, there's nothing else to say really. Because this thing is updating, and it is probably once these command centers finish upgrading, that'll be about mission complete. Oh, apart from the obelisks, because I forgot to build the extra obelisks. Whoops. Really? Not yet? Okay, game. Play hard to get. I see how it is. And that should about do it. Power pylon. There it is. 40 victory points. We lost Hoarder right at the end there because I prioritised getting waste sourced out. It was a bit of a mess. Such is the nature of waste. But yes, we have monuments, we have land. We never did figure out why my people kept dying around here, so that was a bit weird. That, I mean, it's not even on a main transit route, so I don't know why. But yes, there we go. Map complete. Yay! Excuse me.
How fortunate that you were the one we chose, Founder. We hope that you continue to impress.
I will continue to make a lasting impression. Oh yes. So, continue with the campaign. We are rolling back. Our next objective is for the web browser to open. I genuinely forgot that was the thing it did, going into the mission control screen. Right. Still don't know why it does that. But anyway, it was these two. An easy or a normal. 1 rebel camp versus 2 rebel camps. I don't remember which one I went. I think it was... I went south before. Let's go this way. Since I know I didn't go to... I went to the easy one because I liked the lack of combat in the last mission, I remember. Right, we've got 37 points. What do we want to spend them on? Making things even cheaper. Yeah, let's make things even cheaper. %. That is crazy. 40%. Start with additional victory points. Actually, that's an option to make that easier. I didn't quite notice that. Oh, you start with 1 point. So you can skip a little bit, but not by much. You know, let's ramp that back up to 60%. And I'll increase started employees and starting there. And starting credits up a bit as well. Anything else I want? Make any tiles a bit cheaper as well. Okay, let's go. So, sector details. Energy, martial, economic, political. Normal rebel aggression, but there is only 1 rebel camp. So if we rush them fast enough, we will be fine. Molten terrain, which has not been seen yet on this series. In we go. Ah yes, safe and sanitary waste disposal right there. Okay, what do we got? We got experimental fuel silos, aerial armaments, which, if you remember, that's the one where we overgunned our ships and it was a bit of a mess. And structural standards. Less time, less health. Start with additional credits. That's not as good as the cheaper one. That's just like build them real quick. Oh! Fuel silos next to crevasses fill up with fuel automatically. They detonate twice as big. Explode with more damage. They have less health. And fuel turbines are less effective. That shakes things up a little bit. Let's go with that one. There we go, look at this. We've got pools of magma and an orange heated glow all over the darn place. Go ahead and pause it. So, we don't know how things are quite going to play here, but you can always see it's more like a magma-style biome. I do like how the general ambience changes colour for each different map type. That's something I do like. Anyway, let's get on with the thing. Let's go ahead, go around and spam V for surveying literally everything, because we want that. And get the initial setup started. There are a lot of crevasses and things around though, so the terrain is really broken up actually, I'm noticing. Right, our first weather effect is ongoing. The popple disappeared unfortunately quick, but there is a sandstorm on, which apparently has the effect of reducing turret range. Slightly unfortunate on that one. While initial resource storage is going on, let's actually go ahead and pull up our objectives real quick so we can see what we're dealing with. We've got the fuel silo that's sitting at the bottom there. We have store isotopes, store fuel, number of turrets, energy depots, territory control, and store influence. So, fair few storages with a little bit of extra stuff mixed in. But for now I have gone around. There was actually a few lighter buildings around the place which were very high yield, so they've been scrapped for materials. I've not really gone for any artifacts yet, but I should actually go ahead and claim that patch of extract there. But that said, compared to the last few maps, we have an absolute boatload of isotopes just sitting around in the open. Some minerals too, but we also have access to both isotope and mineral nodes as well, right next to us. So we don't have to go looking for them. For my initial building picks, I picked up the transport hub, energy plant, fuel silo, turrets, shipyards, offices, and residence. So pretty standard fare there, with the exception that instead of fuel turbine, I've gone for fuel silo because of that whole able to passively gather if next to a sinkhole. Well, sorry, next to a crevice, I should actually say. I wonder if it does anything with it next to a sinkhole. Maybe? Who knows? But because they explode harder, I really should keep them away from any potential incoming as well. So that's probably going to be back over here. Of course, the first step is getting to the point where I can afford it. One thing I will note as well, that while I have had this one, it's my only one that absorbs pollution. For that alone, I am tempted to keep it. The rest of these are mostly like zethane generators or power storage, so I can scrap most of the rest of them. I'm just thinking about where the road would go. You have to go through here because there's these two inconvenient crevasses there. But if I keep that, I can run the road around that way. Because I'm also thinking of where I want to put my people as well. Away from any mines or anything else that would be negatives. That's pretty much a given. But yeah, let's keep on getting the initial factory up.
Today, I received the results of the analysis on those artifacts, and, well, I'm baffled, completely mystified. We knew there was a base level of toxicity in the air, and we were prepared to deal with it. But this is just... what happened here? The readings on some of those artifacts, the surviving data on those pods. And there is so much isotope residue in the soil samples we're collecting too. Something burned here. Something huge. Planet-wide. I mean, these levels cannot be from everyday city emissions. Not even over generations. Whatever it was, it used a catastrophic amount of energy. More than humanity has ever burned in carbon fuels in its entire history. Could this be what led to the disappearance of the old civilization? Or wiped them out, or perhaps caused them to leave? What could it have been? Whatever it was, it changed the course of life here forever.
You know, I was kind of wondering a little bit about that, but some kind of unplanned reaction or deliberate sabotage reaction, maybe, depending on how spiteful you think the other civilization was. But some unplanned thing reacting to cause all this zethane all over the place. I mean, it had to come from somewhere. Something had to make it. It wouldn't form naturally like this, most likely. So it's like, here's assertion that something burned. Means that whoever owned Titan before us weren't very careful, were they? So yeah, I'm just getting some initial processing up and running, just to try and get some things up. Get initial refined minerals, refined isotopes going. I've got a factory building ready to go to accept that, but I don't want to do that with just tier 1 materials because I don't have much. Already my initial stockpile is mostly gone from what I've built so far, so it's like I need to be more efficient and I need to get that refining started. That's all there is to it, really. Without the refining, I am in major trouble as far as mineral reserves are going. So, must be a responsible CEO, like we all know I am. Yeah, that is powered, isn't it? Yeah, that's powered. So yeah, so being the major responsible CEO that we all know I am, I look after my people forever and ever and always. I will go ahead and start to produce some stuff. Now, even though we've got the passive zethane generation, we'll need a zethane intake here because we can't afford the silos yet. Because remember, silos are a full-blown building. This is just an internal piece of kit. Also means I need to scrap some more stuff just to get the starting refining going. I've got plenty of funds, so I can. Ooh, that's a good one. A level 2 with 52 in it. Yes, please. But yeah, I always do like the lore that crops up from time to time. That's one of the things I like about this game, that they bothered to do that. Some games just, you know, don't. Alright, I think we've got ourselves a bit of a bedrock now going on. Bedrock edition. We've got Factory 3 is producing Tier 2 refinement. Factory 4 is producing the Tier 3 refinement, so we're actually starting to stockpile Tier 3 materials. Excellent. Factory 2 is still sitting idle because I've not installed a proper factory floor there, but if you recall, we actually have like the blueprints we saved in the last map, so that's why I wanted to wait until I had more advanced materials available just to slap it down. But for now, rebel threat is steadily rising, so it's about time I was thinking about defense, which we can do pretty darn quickly. Okay, so it is that way around it wants to be, because we have the materials. We can make it. We can do it. We don't actually have a power system yet, though. I think here will do. And yes, I've been spending all the influence, so I lost my influencer title. But that's probably going to have higher tiers anyway, and it does regenerate over time, so I don't really care. Even if it's not as... not as prevalent as it was last time when I was given influence to take ships off the council's hand. That was an interesting twist on it, I must admit. Now, the last thing I'm thinking of putting the residential area down this way. There is a big ruin here, though unfortunately you can't do anything special with it, it looks like. So, artifacts or materials. That is a big chunk of isotopes. Don't care so much about the minerals, but the isotopes I think I want. So I'll salvage. And my housing area will be tucked down this way, well away from everything else. Yeah, just spend a tier 2 on that. That's something the game does miss. I wish I could tell it's like, try to maintain X amount of tier Z material. So, maintain 10 tier 2s and then anything above that, just try to refine it. But this game doesn't allow such precise factory control. A shame, but there it is. Also, I have enough power for my machinery, but I don't have enough power to run something else with it, so I'll need power as well. Which actually I will do... Let's get the first of these up, actually. Let's get the first fuel extractor silo up. Got a little gap where it can go just there, though that is actually in the way of potential road route. So let's put one over here, actually. Yeah. Also, I need to find a crevice. Sorry, a sinkhole. That one? There's one over there too, actually. Yeah, we must experiment. For science, we must experiment. Okay, I've shut off all of my Zethane gatherers. I've paused the 2 silos over there. This silo is next to a sinkhole rather than a crevice. No fuel being stored. Okay, so if I actually build one of you guys, then will you work? Because it looks like specifically it has to be a crevice. I mean, it is right there in the wording, but I wanted to check because they're both holes in the ground. So, you know, it's worth a look. Worth a quick look.
Hello, Founder. I'm pleased to see how the city is progressing. You are putting all those minerals to good use. As you may know, Titan is much richer in resources than most planets. Earth likes to brag, but water isn't everything. Even the atmosphere on Titan can be burned for fuel. Let's see Earth do better than that. My sister, she left Titan for Earth. Gave up the council family for water. I mean, I respect her decision. She's an adult. But Titan is building the future. Many younger people in the council family are starting to say, "Oh, Titan is gross. It's gross here." Of course, the wealthiest place in the system is a little gross. You don't make money by staying clean. To get rich, you have to be where things are changing the fastest. And that's definitely not Earth.
That is actually a fair point. Though that said, being able to literally burn the air as fuel is not exactly a selling point for habitability, I must say. But yeah, as you saw while that was going on, I scrapped that silo over there that wasn't doing the special effects, but this one is passively generating some fuel. It just wasn't at first because the generators over there were consuming it all, so it's like it's a trickle. Interesting. That one stopped generating fuel because it was maintaining those. That one started to tick up, so they weren't sharing. But now what happens if I connect them both into a single unit? What will that do to fuel generation rate? Because it looked like they're the same generation rate. This one had one side on a crevice, that one had 2 sides on a crevice. So that's the last thing I want to check for that. For science, must check how quickly a converged one generates fuel. Or will it be what I suspect, which is like it's per building? Okay. Okay, right, it's literally the most simple application possible. There's no such thing as bonuses for adjacency or bonuses for conjoined things. It is a bonus which applies purely on a per building basis. It's also a bit of a trickle as well, so it doesn't actually pull the Zethane from the atmosphere, so I think I might have shot myself in the foot a little bit. That is an unfortunate saying for me personally. But leave that alone. Yeah, so because of that, my fuel turbines, if I were to build them, are less efficient, but it is a static generation rate per building as long as it's adjacent to one of these crevasses. So it's just like, don't bother conjoining them because you won't get as much of an effect if you're after the passive fuel generation. Anyway, I do need to get more power though, because I need to get the shipyard operational for defense when the bad guys start coming my way. I felt my voice cracking right in the middle of that, so but yeah. I'll take you as well. So power plant, and then construction of a ship. Also, waste storage. Need to get on top of that real quick. I've been looking at it a bit more, and it feels like this bonus is kind of half-baked in its approach. Because it is, well, let me explain my thinking. It is taking up fuel in my storage silos, right? But it doesn't mean the silo is acting like a fuel producer. And the distinction there is that the fuel producer would automatically distribute its production around available fuel tanks, while this bonus is like per building, and I'm pretty sure once the building is full, the bonus stops being a bonus because it won't distribute itself to other fuel tanks. Also because of that, it doesn't actually count the tick of fuel produced by this bonus in the fuel info generation, because it's not counted as a fuel generation effect. So, definitely some caveats to this particular bonus, as it turns out. And as I mentioned before, it's kind of at the point where I am actively wondering if I made a mistake picking it. Purely on the grounds that I don't know how bad the debuff is on the primary fuel tanks. So I'm going to have to go and wait and see when I manage to afford those and build those, unfortunately. Which I am trying to do, though I'm struggling to get a power plant up to do it. Well, I say struggling, it's just taking a little bit because I'm refining materials as I go and trying to deal with the fuel as I go. And look at this effect, though. I think that's thumbnail material right there, just like showing, Scorchio, yes, into the molten lands. Unfortunately, I don't have a pool of molten lava next to my headquarters to show that, but it's like we can see the heat effects though. I think I'll probably call this episode Slightly Crispy, just because we are slightly crispy. So yeah, one of the mysteries of how Iron Mark 3 chooses his episode names right there. Sometimes it literally is just spur of the moment. Or trying to find something relevant at the very least. Okay, right, we've got everything powered. We can bring in victims. There's no pollution really going on, so they should be okay. Do need to try and get the ship together as my next priority. Probably just something light will be enough. The thing is, I normally go for like the highest block count by default. Let's go. Well, yeah. Let's go middle of the road. Let's go for some Geofalcon DX8s as my first ship. Of course, building will be slightly delayed because I don't have a road network yet. Though not by much, because the shipyard is quite close by. There we go. Right, now I just need to Tetris this thing. Yeah, I should do it. Slight notice, I'd slapped in the big generator before I thought about anything else, so as a result, not all tiles of the big generator can be reached to fix them, though that said, that's an issue with the big generator anyway. You can't get to all tiles on it to fix it because workers can only reach the tile next to them, not a tile further. But fuel generation, power storage, twin big lasers, full crew. We already have ourselves a defender. Very good. Very, very good. And it's called the Green Hornet. I think I should try and save this. Blueprints for this ship. Actually, that is something interesting. We saved a pattern for the other ship last save in the last city. It saves for this ship, so that means it must save blueprints per ship pattern, which makes a lot more sense than what I thought it was, which was like same as the buildings patterns. It's like it wouldn't actually do that. I thought it'd be like one bank for all of your ships, and I was like, maybe that's a bit limited, but no. Turns out it might be per ship hull, which makes a lot more sense. It's one of the strange things about this game. Some stuff makes a lot of sense, and then some stuff is like feels rushed. You know what I mean? I'll just slap out another one. Give me another Hornet, please. That will be our defensive armor, and maybe we'll actually launch an offense as well, because you can catch the enemy base before it's defending itself. A lightning raid, so we don't have to bother with military defense. It might be possible. There we go, quick and easy. There we go. HQ conversion floor. Also bring in people, because we're about to have our first proper work shift as well. People streaming to the local office, ignoring the heat. Also, we have both ships now. Pocked Calypso has joined our Green Hornets, so that's 2 ships out in the air. All that's left really is to see how this pirate interaction goes. Well, interaction. Shooting gallery. Maybe I should be cheeky and try and build another shipyard. I might be able to, but got to bear in mind my worker numbers. I've only got 12 employees knocking around. Well, sorry, 8 employees normal. 3 of them are tied up in permanent... Well, no, 4 of them are tied up in permanent jobs. I need more workers.
Hey, Mom. Just checking in on you again. I want you to know that I'm still alive. Better than alive. I'm thriving. For the first time in my life, I'm around people who make me think. The rebels aren't just about fighting like everyone says. We all want the same thing, but we all have different ideas about how to get it. We have these incredible debates. Back at home, I'd never be someone important. I'd die boring and helpless. Probably fetching documents and pouring coffee for complete scumbags. But out here, I'm as important as I want to be. It's hard out here, but I think you could handle it. Seriously, there are plenty of older people with the rebels. And there's lots of work anyone could do. We need nurses, people to run the food vats. Look, I don't want to say too much. I just hope you might change your mind about the rebels someday. And if you do, you're always welcome here.
The rebels are sounding more and more like people that are just trying to get by, if we're going to be entirely honest. Now ain't that a fun little concept? Sometimes rebels are just like, we are the bad guys, yes. And sometimes, well, actually, it's a lot rarer for rebels to have a legitimate point. To show why they're doing this, why they are freedom fighters rather than rebels or revolutionaries. So just like, they aren't doing it for the hell of it. They aren't doing it, hey, we're going to be the outcasts, the bandits, we're going to be, look at us, we are the others. They actually have a reason they're doing it. And that's because they oppose the way of life under corporate rule on Titan. Oh wait, I'm part of that corporate regime. These rebel scum need to learn their place and get back to work. Yes, get back into my factories. I seem to be having a bit of trouble getting the last couple of percent on that rebel counter, actually. But it's gone really well as far as getting shifts sorted out. So I should be able to start hiring in a few moments. Because I'm actually out of living space, but that's waiting on some infrastructure upgrades.
The rebellion is guided by the hand of righteousness, Founder. Nothing guides your counsel but greed.
Whatever you say, buddy. Whatever helps you sleep at night. Because they've got a rebel ship coming in. I have 2 ships on defense. Soon to be more. Because the second shipyard is going up now. And I'm going to try. I'm going to see if I can just rush these guys. Something to bear in mind is the fact that I don't have shield tech in any way, shape or form, since I've not got any research. They have no medical stations, so I'm just going to flatten them. So yeah, I do have med pods installed, of course, so I don't have to worry about my people getting deaded too easily. But there is a certain level of combat where my ships will not be viable anymore. Well, that said, things are going quite easily for the most part.
Don't celebrate yet, Founder. I will be victorious next time.
A persistent nuisance, this one. Make sure you keep him contained, Founder.
Keep him contained? I think I'm going to try and do a bit more than that. Because luckily, it doesn't seem like... Yeah, it's not kept track of per thing. My total shipyard capacity is what counts for how much I can have in terms of ships. So, 2 more ships are being slapped together as we speak, and then we'll go and return the favour. Just to see how it goes. Use a slight bit of patching up on Green Hornet, but nothing serious. There it is. Well, found the enemy base, and I have 3 ships on hand to try and do something about it. The 4th ship is currently being slapped together, but it's proving a bit troublesome to get it sorted out due to low workers and low quality materials, because I'm having to build out of tier 1s and stuff. So let's see if we can make something happen with... I see you there, turret. Make something happen with our current ships. Because we're barely into the threat range of wave number 2, so I think we are in with some good odds here. Just being careful. Don't want to deal with the turret unless I have to. But our ships are picking apart the Freedom. We are joined, by the way, by Wicked IO. Familiar name from the last city. But that's Pocket Calypso, Green Hornet, Wicked IO. Level 1 turrets, and that ship is called Fireball. Green Hornet is the only one that's undamaged out of our 3, so that's going to go in first, while the rest just dogpiling behind it. Oh no, it's going straight after Pocket Calypso. That said, though, this is the full extent of the rebel base. So I think we'll be okay. Basically, I've just taken 3 effectively cargo transport ships and using them to attack a rebel base, but it's working. It's doing the job. Just as the rebel HQ upgrades as well. Goes to show they're using the same tech as us, doesn't it? There we go. Just a shipyard left, and then this base is neutralized. Ta-da! The rebels are so salty about it, they didn't even call to say they'll be back. They just like, nope, we're done. But yeah, that definitely worked. So a fast ship rush can definitely deal with early bases quickly, if you can get the ships out to do it. I'm going to have to remember this and try to employ it just to reduce the threat on more difficult maps. Though with that eye for an eye successfully meted out, I think that is the end of this particular episode. So, this has been Iron Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you guys have been enjoying the show. Again, apologies for the hiatus on some stuff going on. I mean, this one in particular has been a while. It's been so long that I'm not entirely sure when the last episode of this was. But, yeah. Gonna get back because there's still more to see in this game. But until then, though, feel free to... Yeah, I need to get back in this spiel. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Helps out me, helps out the channel. Gives me the virtual headbutts I oh so crave. Oh look, this ship is now operational when I don't need it. Scrap it back down for parts. Same for this one, actually. And yeah. I'll see you all later. I'm going to scrap these as well, just so that I don't have to try and recruit replacement employees. Or maybe I should just like empty the employees and keep the ships. Yeah, that sounds like a bit more sensible. I could just restaff them if I need to.